We wanted to do the most authentic game of a TV show ever.
Of all the things that I've certainly done, 24 lent itself to a video game.
Our number one statement was we wanted the game to make you feel like you were Jack Bauer. Be Jack Bauer.
What would you want to do in life more than be Jack Bauer or Tony Almeida? Back in the first season, I said, this, unlike any movie I've seen, is a natural for a game.
We were very keen not to do just like an extra episode, a hidden backstory, or like Jack Bauer as a little boy or some prequel or something like that. We wanted to provide an entire season of 24 as a game.
The reason we went between season 2 and 3 was we didn't know who was going to be alive at the end of season 3, much less season 4, and now we're in season 5, so we would have been way off if we would have tried to figure something like that out. So we knew if we put it between 2 seasons, we knew who we had to work with, we knew what questions we needed to answer. So we looked at the Fox message boards, and you kept seeing questions like, how did Kim and Chase get together? How did Kim start working at CTU? How did Jack and Chase get together? How did Chloe enter the story? And kind of took those questions and said, all right, well, which ones of these questions can we answer? And we, I think, hit most of them.
No one really knows why Kim ever ended up at CTU or how she got there. It's sort of just bam, season 3 and she's there. So the game is nice because it sort of fills in those holes.
They've got the ship rigged. We tripped the switch. They don't know we're here yet. They will soon.
Damn it. We're heading in. We need to get on board and stop the detonation of the Ryson cargo. Maintain positions. We cannot afford to make any mistakes. Let's go!
Well, the plot of the game is really on 2 levels. Very much like the series. He is trying to thwart an arms dealer, and then it develops into a terrorist action. And very much like the series, Jack Bauer is limited with the resources that he has because there are certain people he can trust and certain people he can't. Another staple of our show are the moles and the people that you think are trustworthy that aren't.
As we progress through the game, we're going to actually see who was behind the assassination attempt on President Palmer, and we're going to see people working for him that are hell-bent on causing another very distressful day in Jack Bauer's life.
The wonderful thing about this, as opposed to the television show, is it really is up to the gamer to decide in which direction the story will play out.
The game involvement was a wonderful symbiotic relationship. They knew that they needed to make it look like our show, and we had a style that we developed which was distinctive, and they came to me and said, can you make it work for you? And so one of the big challenges was I wanted to make sure the framing, the multiple boxes, and the colors of the set of the LA were interpreted in the game. And they had, of course, a challenge to write a special algorithm so everything would feel shaky and emulate the kind of handheld kind of qualities that we have. And we worked extensively feeding QuickTime movies back and forth across the Atlantic to kind of achieve that. And I know that they've done that. I've seen the game at the party the other night. It's incredible. It's really scary.
Literally, we had to look at the actual shows and then break down the kind of sets and think of, okay, what locations they got, what warehouses, what kind of buildings they're using, what kind of architecture they generally film in. And then we had to kind of think, okay, we get all that, now how can we reproduce it into a game?
When we were taking photographs of CTU, you just realise how much detail there is actually on set. There's cups, there's folders, there's badges, there's insignias, there's logos, there's piles upon piles upon piles of actual material actually in there in order to make the actual look of the show look so rich, dense and varied.
Yeah, when I think about the split screens for in-game, we had various ideas of the ways we could transfer that into the game. So we had things like security cameras. So a security camera comes up in-game and we get the split screen effect. So you see on one screen what the security camera is watching and you see yourself playing the game in the other.
I want answers. What's the assassination plan?
Hardly a week goes by if you're watching the show where Jack doesn't have to catch the bad guy and extract some critical information from him before something really bad's going to happen.
We're hoping that fans of the show are going to be the fans of the game. And the interrogation sequences has been a staple in 24 from seasons 1 straight through to season 5. They're going to be able to choose the way to interrogate a specific person to try and effectively get the information from them.
You know what the plan is.
It's nothing to do with me.
And the mechanic that we use is really based around a kind of the idea of a stress graph where you're able to kind of ask questions that are going to influence the stress level of the character, and only when it's in a certain area are you going to be able to get the truth and the answers you need from that character.
So basically I did photographs, sort of this 360, 45-degree angle, freeze, no smile, in costume type thing, and then they sort of created this sort of virtual Kim Bauer out of it.
I was actually very pleased. Regardless of whether or not I like the way I look, the image in the video game more than resembles my image. One of the photographs that was taken by Rodney was shown to me by the image that they had created. It was very hard to tell them apart.
It was critical for us to bring along a military advisor, and his role on the game was to basically advise us on procedures and methods of reloading ammunition, taking people down, holding hostages, how to arrest somebody correctly, and also teaching us a bit about the weapons and getting the actors to know the feel of the weapons and the weight of them, so that when we go along to the motion capture, he actually came along with us in order to kind of supervise and make sure that we were doing everything in a realistic manner.
We tried to bring as many characters from the show into the game as possible, because I think that for the fans it's one of those great things to see all these characters. To not know exactly who is going to be there, but to hope to see all of your favourite characters from the show, I think is a big part of adapting a TV show to a game. We have Kim Bauer, Jack's daughter.
It's cool. She's a lot more aggressive. Also, she's a lot more active as far as fighting and the gun stuff, and really being more hands-on in the role of saving what's going down in CTU and in the world.
You also get to play the other major characters, Tony, Chase from season 3, and on top of that, there's some hidden characters for, like, you know, more one-off kind of like bonus and kind of like secret missions that, like, I wouldn't want to reveal, but like there's about 5 or 6. Yeah.
Who's in charge? I play Peter Madsen. I'm the bad guy. I was on Jack's side a long time ago, but something went awry, and he court-martialed me. And so I just have not gotten over that, and so I tried to take it out on him, the United States, and anybody else that gets in the way. All I can tell you is that my character makes it a really fun ride. He's got a lot to do with a lot of stuff, and can't tell you how it goes down, but you have to play and find out.
We were very lucky to have on board for 24 The Game a lot of the cast and crew from season 2 and season 3. At the voice recording sessions, it was a fantastic experience to meet Kiefer Sutherland and Rico Ellsworth, Carlos Bernard, Alicia Cuthbert for the first time.
It really brings the game to life when you see these cinematic sequences and the in-game sequences where you've got these characters delivering lines that, you know, they've been these characters for 4 years. No one knows better than them how they're supposed to deliver these performances to get the reaction that the audience is used to seeing. And so just having that material to work with just made our job, you know, so much easier.
It's not an opportunity that we have on the show. When I go to do a scene in the show, I've already pretty much made up my mind about how I'm going to attack that scene. So for me, this was a fantastic opportunity to try a lot of different things. What was fantastic about it was just the incredible variety, that you were required to play a scene 5 different ways at 5 different volumes, 5 different intensity levels. The interrogation sequences are probably the best and easiest to explain. That there would be a kind of a mild interrogation.
Robert, is there a code for the door? I need you to tell me what it is.
And they would ramp up to a very intense interrogation.
This is your last chance. I want the code. Give it to me now.
And that was an exercise for an actor.
One of the most important things I think in a game that's a third-person gun-based game like 24 is getting the shooting mechanic right. Particularly if you're playing Jack Bauer, you've obviously got to be able to feel like you're able to take on the bad guys just as confidently and capably as Jack would.
We try to access the players in 2 ways. Hardcore would probably want to go fully manual and be able to, fine-tune their aiming and do headshots. For basically younger players or just people who don't want to be bothered with fine-tuning. And we have a completely automatic system as well that allows you just to take it easy and enjoy the game.
It's incredibly exciting to be involved in anything that you believe is the forefront of technology.
On the show, they try to beat their previous cliffhanger in the previous episode, and we're trying to do that exactly the same in the game.
But it's just a fun, action-packed, smart video game.
If you're a fan of 24, this is a no-brainer. You get to be Jack Bauer.